Good morning. It is nice and early, and I'm sure I've said today's day 55 for a few days now, but I just checked the calendar and apparently today's day 55. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just having the same day over and over. Feels that way. Wake up, eat, walk, eat, walk, eat, 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 maybe walk, try and sleep. But it is the third day, I can keep track of that one, it's the third day in the Sierra now, or since I left Kennedy Meadows. And as you can see, the scenery is just beautiful and the landscape's changing. It is quite cold. Woke up this morning to everything, not everything frozen, but just ice covering the tent and the inside of the tent and anything that wasn't in the tent. Thankfully the water didn't freeze, so it's probably only just on freezing or maybe just below, which is actually somewhat of a good thing. If there's any snow up ahead, it means it may have refrozen and will work better with spikes than if it turns to slush. Today is another uphill day. We'll actually be getting up to around 11,500 feet, so definitely well and truly into the highest I've been in the PCT so far. I think currently at about mile 742. That's where I camped last night. And today looks like a pretty good day at, if I sort of stick to what I'm thinking, 18.8 miles, or just over 30 kilometers. There is a lake coming up, a high alpine lake called Chicken Spring Lake, the first of the alpine lakes, and according to Guthook's app, that is where I will truly feel like I've entered the Sierra. So I intend on having a break there in a few hours. Sorry, there's not a lot of air up here, so the whole breathing thing's a little difficult still. And then after that, another 9 miles to some form of camping area that has lots of spaces, water, there's like a stream, and some bear boxes you can lock your food in. So that'll be 18.8, will be a good day. Yesterday was 22.5. That was quite tiring. My back does feel a little lighter this morning, but that just might be because I'm fresh. I know that yesterday, from about 15 to 17 miles onwards, I was definitely pretty over it. I did some I'm hoping for some snow today, and if not today, then tomorrow, because I had a look, did some planning last night, and from where I am, if I do the 18, well, basically I've got potentially 2 short days to set myself up to do summit Mount Whitney. So if I do 18.8 today, that leaves me with about somewhere between 10 and 13 or 14 tomorrow to get me to pretty much as close to the base of Whitney, or the Whitney Summit track, as I can get, and at which point I'll probably get up at like 1 or 2 a.m. and attempt to summit Whitney in the dark so I can get sunrise on the top of the tallest mountain in, I guess, like the mainland US or lower 48, or however you want to do it. So it's kind of a good thing that I've been doing extra miles each day, because over that 15 I budgeted for food, because it looks like I'll have a shorter day or two where I won't even get the 15 just because of that Whitney summit. So we'll see how that plans out, or plays out. For now, I'm going to go back to not talking and hiking up a mountain so I can actually breathe. Because it's hard to do both. And it doesn't look like it, but climbing uphill, and I'm not sure what altitude I'm at the moment, probably at 9, close to 10,000 feet. I live at sea level, so it's a big difference. Anyway, I will talk to you later. This little trickle here is called Poison Meadow Spring. And yesterday I filled up a creek called a Death Canyon Creek. Sensing a bit of a theme. Here I am at Chicken Spring Lake, and it is beautiful. I haven't seen a single person all morning. I did pass a couple of tents, but no one who's awake. I've done 10 miles or 16 kilometers to get here. It's just on about 9:30, and it's stunning. The whole place to myself. See if we can capture up there. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and the water is crystal clear. You can't even, you can barely even see it in this. Tough life, really tough. And once you get to a beautiful spot like this, you can immediately go to work trying to dry out your wet tent and your wet sleeping bag and everything else that's wet from the night before. I just shook a ton of ice out of my tent, and my sleeping bag is soaked. And that appears to be the norm for the time being. Sleep in tent, wake up soaking wet. But warm. At least it's not wet enough that the sleeping bag stops working. And it makes you have to stop and have longer breaks in places like this during the day to dry it all out. So yeah, it's not all bad. Alright, so as is typical, whenever you want someone else around, there's no one around. So I'm going to have to film myself doing this swim. This lake was frozen, well not solid, but frozen across the top completely 2 weeks ago. It is damn cold, and I'm going for a swim. So let's not waste any time here, let's just do this. Wow, that is very cold. Oh, Jesus. All right, get it out. Oh my God. That is really, really cold. Whew. Looking back down on Chicken Spring Lake, and if we zoom in, can't really see, but there's no, just there. I'm gonna poke. That's no down there. She got in just behind me, so she's having a break down there now after I had my break, and it was so beautiful. Just, I know my camera work right now is terrible, but so beautiful. Well, here I am, me and my squeaky pack here, which is squeaking for whatever reason, I don't know. Either way, it's driving me mental. But at the highest point I've been at on the PCT so far, 11,500 feet. And that is, well, let's call it 3, 6, 9, 12, let's call it 3.5 kilometers. 3,500 meters above sea level, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. And it is stunningly beautiful. I can't get over how nice Chicken Spring Lake back there was. I've made very slow progress away from there because I keep stopping and taking photos, and just stunning. And looking out to my side here, which I just took another video back there, it's just amazing. Like, words can't really describe what all these mountains going forward look like. Here I'll try and, this looks like a good spot to try and turn around and get a little shot of what I'm looking at. If I focus back here, I don't know if you can see them. Doesn't really do it any justice at all, but yeah, that's where I'm headed. 10 more miles today, and then tomorrow morning is the first of the legitimate creek crossings apparently. But actually I'll be camping right beside it tonight. Doesn't sound like it's gonna be too bad. Then a shorter day tomorrow to sort of get to the staging point to Summit Whitney. But really just from leaving the desert a couple of days ago, it didn't muck around, it just straight up to altitude and straight into beautiful scenery. Almost like someone drew a line in the dirt. Not quite, but also not far off it. So, but for now, I'm gonna put this thing away and just rejoin the stunning beauty around me, because it's just amazing. I need a better vocabulary to actually describe it, but oh, and look, a jet flying over just in time. We're gonna see him and hear him. He's not super low. Yesterday the odd one came through really low, but it was always so hard to find where they were because the sound just bounces around all these mountains, and it ended up being almost impossible to figure out which direction it's coming from and where it's going. And then they go so fast, it's where you're looking, it's probably for more like a normal plane looking ahead of the sound, and you need to be far ahead of that. But again, it's so cool watching them come banking through these mountain ranges. Yesterday they were almost lower than me, they were almost at the same height. Yeah, I shouldn't find that cool, but I do. So anyway. This is the first of the potentially dangerous river crossings, or creek crossings. This one doesn't look dangerous at all. They've got a nice log to balance across. So that'll be me early tomorrow morning. Not today, I'm done for today. 18.8 miles. And yeah, that's enough.